The No Kings protest. You couldn't really miss them. Thousands turned out to protest President Trump over the weekend. It was large. It was peaceful. But we're not sure exactly what they were there to do in America's streets. What was the message? To ensure that we don't have a king? Well, the very fact that they're out on the streets seems to illustrate the fact that we don't have a king. But that didn't matter over at MSNBC.
There was a feeling of resoluteness and also real joy and real sense of solidarity.
This today is peaceful, nonviolent civil disobedience, a beautiful march through the streets of our city.
It was overwhelmingly peaceful. I think we really pushed back against the smear campaign. I saw courage. I saw joy. I saw, even in the moment of grief, because we see what's happening in D.C., I saw hope.
Overwhelmingly peaceful. Okay, but what is acceptable? To what do you associate? And for the party of tolerance, what do you tolerate? First, Mike Cernovich pointed out on X, they get to hold their protest without a care in the world. No snipers on the building shooting at them. No masked thugs attacking them. Every media outlet fawning over them, as you just heard. The irony levels fit for a king. Again, it seems to illustrate that we have no king. Well, that's also due to the fact that Democrats just didn't show up in 2024, not enough of them, because Donald Trump was democratically elected for the second time. And it's a job now, every day, where he works.
I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
Speaking of work and speaking of President Trump, it was 1 year ago today that he was working at the drive-thru in McDonald's.
President Trump! Well, that's a good-looking group. Hello, everybody. I love McDonald's. I love jobs. I like to see good jobs.
An apron, not a crown. But as I mentioned, while the protests were admittedly overwhelmingly peaceful, it's a question of what you accept, what you associate with, and for the party of tolerance, what do you tolerate? Paul Morrow of Fox News pointed out when he said this is an example of a five-star a-hole, a sign which reads, what heals faster, A, Trump's ear, or B, Erica's heart? One example, one could say, but it's not just one example. There was this grotesque display of a teacher from Chicago, I repeat, a teacher from Chicago, giving a bullet in the neck gesture to a Charlie Kirk fan driving by. They seem to be adding up, these singular examples. There's more. Luigi Mangione supporters showed up. They held signs that read, Free Luigi. No kings, but yes to murder suspects. In Seattle, grown adults dressed up as lice agents and proceeded to roll around on the United States Constitution. But it wasn't just bizarre displays. There were overt, ugly calls to action.
You gotta grab a gun. We gotta turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents gotta get shot and wiped out. The state machinery, that's a full display right there, has to get wiped out.
Wipe out ICE agents. Take up arms. Wipe out ICE. Early reports are that man, too, is an educator. Over in Canada, they wanted to stand in solidarity with the movement, but they couldn't name it No Kings. Why? Because, of course, they have an actual king. So they changed the name to No Tyrants, further confusing exactly what this whole display was all about. One thing they know is they believe that moments like this here at home are tyranny.
If he said bad, then maybe he'll like to apologize. I really don't know. Did an ambassador say something bad about it? Don't tell me. I don't. Where is he? Is he still working for you?
Yeah.
You said bad?
Before I took this position, Mr. President.
I don't like you either. I don't, and I probably never will.
The tyranny of humor. I guess we could find humor as well in Nancy Pelosi triumphantly snapping a crown in half over the No Kings weekend. This is a woman who has made millions in her years of exclusively public service. Maybe that's the crown that's missing from the Louvre. But the crowd, made largely up of what many are saying are gray hairs, boomers, and nothing wrong with that, but it does paint a little bit of a picture of the people that are calling themselves Grand Tifa. And if that's not funny enough, or President Trump isn't funny enough, I'll give you the thing that they always love to do with these protests, and that's dance. That as tempting as it is to laugh at these theater kids, or to even look at these isolated instances of people saying incredibly ugly things from the No Kings protest, we shouldn't laugh it off and we shouldn't hand wave. Because people like Senator Bernie Sanders and Senator Chris Murphy are sitting there appearing on stage at No Kings with this guy, Mehdi Hasan.
I am a journalist, I am an immigrant, and I am a Muslim. I am everything Donald Trump loves. I am not willing to sit back and watch our glorious American multiracial, multicultural, democratic experiment, our constitutional republic, destroyed by the guy from Home Alone 2.
That's Mehdi Hasan, inexplicably platformed on multiple occasions here in the United States, an immigrant Muslim who has called white people chattel and cattle and has said incredibly ugly things, an open socialist who wants to overturn America. And there he is on the stage alongside Murphy and Sanders. See, we have to take these people seriously. But here's what I seriously am concerned with. Less the isolated incidences of someone seeming to pantomime a murder. More with the Botoxed smile, the microdermabrasioned face that you might see at a coffee shop or certainly walking around the Hamptons, the designer hat and the designer sweater, the nice old lady that when pushed just a little bit, you find something darker.
Millions of Democrats did not vote. Whose fault is that? We need to get ourselves together, and we might even need to be a little bit meaner.
Recently, with Charlie Kirk being assassinated,
It's a piece of garbage. Of course we were mean. I am so tired of people saying, oh, but, you know, it's a terrible thing. No, Hitler is dead. I'm glad Hitler's dead. Evil people have no place in my world.
You see, it's just a nice old white lady's world, her world. We're living in it. I'd like to believe that people that celebrate assassination and murder are just something like 1 out of 100. What I fear is that lady is 30 out of 100 in the modern left.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.